Hello there, my dear friends. It truly is wonderful to be settling in with you today, sharing a bit of our time together. I hope you found a cozy spot, maybe your favorite armchair, perhaps with a nice warm cup of something comforting beside you. Let's just take a moment to breathe and connect, like old friends having a relaxed chat over the garden fence or across the kitchen table. Before we dive into our topic for today, I just want to share that gentle, friendly reminder. Think of me as that neighbor sharing tips and thoughts, things I've learned or heard along the way. I'm not a doctor or a medical professional, and nothing we talk about here is intended as specific medical advice for you. Your health journey is uniquely yours, and the very best course is always, always, to have an open and honest conversation with your own trusted doctor or healthcare provider about what steps are right and safe for your individual needs and circumstances. They know your history, and they're the best guide. And also, just a little note to help keep our space here safe and respectful for everyone. Please be mindful not to share any private or personal health details down in the comments section. Thank you so much for understanding that. It just helps us all feel comfortable. Now, with that said, let me ask you something from the heart. Does this sound even vaguely familiar? Do you sometimes have those days, maybe even more often than you'd like to admit, where you just don't feel quite like yourself? Like the real, vibrant you is somehow hiding behind a veil of tiredness? Maybe that familiar spring in your step, that get-up-and-go energy you used to greet the morning with, feels a little muffled? Perhaps it takes a bit more effort just to get rolling, a bit longer for the engine to warm up, so to speak. Or maybe you notice it later in the day. Those tasks that used to feel almost effortless, things you genuinely enjoyed. Perhaps spending a satisfying afternoon working in the garden, feeling the soil in your hands, or maybe tinkering away, happily in the workshop on a little project, getting lost in the process. Or even just the simple, joyful energy needed to keep up with the delightful chaos of visiting grandkids, building forts, or reading stories on the floor. Do these activities now leave you feeling more drained than fulfilled, more physically tired than you expect? Maybe even needing a longer rest afterward? It can sometimes feel like your internal battery just doesn't hold its charge quite as long as it used to, can't it? That inner spark, that feeling of vitality and readiness for whatever the day brings, might seem just a little dimmer, a bit less bright than you remember. And oh, the frustration that can bring. It's a unique kind of frustration, isn't it? It's not necessarily about wanting to run marathons, but simply wanting to feel fully present and capable in your own life. It's that feeling of having the desire, the plans, the ideas bubbling up inside you, but feeling like your physical energy levels just aren't quite matching up, like your body is gently putting on the brakes when your mind wants to go. It can lead to feeling a bit down sometimes, maybe even a little bit cheated out of experiences. Perhaps you hesitate before accepting an invitation because you worry you won't have the stamina, or you find yourself simplifying projects or cutting back on hobbies you truly love because they just feel too demanding now. It's not about laziness, it's about feeling that genuine physical limitation, and that can be incredibly disheartening. It's tiring, isn't it? Both physically tiring, pushing against that feeling of low energy, but also emotionally tiring. Managing the frustration and perhaps the sadness that comes with feeling less capable than you once did, or less capable than you still feel inside. But please take a gentle breath with me. What if I were to whisper a little secret? What if I told you there might be some wonderfully simple, completely natural helpers, things perhaps sitting quietly, unassuming, right there in your kitchen, pantry this very moment, that could potentially offer some gentle, steady support for your overall vitality, your energy, your sense of well-being? Not some complicated potion or expensive gadget, but tiny, potent powerhouses gifted to us directly by nature itself. Would you be willing to explore that possibility with me? Stick with me for just a little while longer? Let's keep this cozy chat going, because we're going to explore some surprisingly simple and hopeful possibilities together. If this feeling of lower energy sounds familiar, drop a comment. I'd love to hear. Subscribe and stick around for some simple ideas that might help put a little pep back in your step. All right then, let's gently turn our attention to what Lovely discoveries await us in our chat today. We're going to be focusing our exploration on 3 specific types of nuts. Yes, you heard that right. Simple, humble nuts that are often whispered about in health circles, and indeed backed by some gentle scientific suggestion as offering wonderful natural support for our overall health, our energy levels, our feeling of vitality, especially as we navigate these rich and meaningful later chapters of life. Now, you might have seen titles or heard talk using exciting words like supernuts or power, and while we certainly want to feel our best and most capable, what we're really talking about here is finding that steady, reliable inner strength and well-being, that feeling of having the energy to enjoy our days fully. So, think of power in that lovely, holistic sense. The power to engage with life with joy and resilience. We'll look together at why these particular nuts are often highlighted. We won't get bogged down in complicated scientific jargon, I promise. Instead, we'll talk about it simply, perhaps using a little metaphor here and there, looking at some of the key nutrients tucked inside these little natural packages, and how researchers believe they might gently help our bodies function at their best. We'll connect the dots in a way that hopefully makes sense and feels encouraging. And beyond our 3 nutty stars, I also have a delightful little bonus tip tucked away for you later on. Nothing complicated, just a simple idea for, perhaps, enhancing your enjoyment, or even the way your body utilizes these nutty treasures. And finally, because stories connect us heart to heart, I'm truly looking forward to sharing an inspiring, real-life story with you. It's about a gentleman, someone very much like us, who was feeling that familiar dip in energy we talked about, and how incorporating these simple foods into his daily routine made a genuinely noticeable, positive difference in how he felt and what he was able to enjoy doing. It's a story about hope and the power of small, consistent steps. Now, I can almost hear the gears turning in some of your minds, perhaps accompanied by a perfectly understandable, gentle chuckle or a raised eyebrow. You might be thinking, nuts? Seriously? Are we really suggesting that eating a few nuts every day can make a tangible difference when I'm feeling this tired or just less vibrant? Can something so incredibly simple truly impact something as fundamental as my energy or vitality? Narrator chuckles softly. It does sound almost, well, too simple, doesn't it? Especially in today's world, where we're constantly bombarded with messages about complex supplements, fancy diets, expensive programs, or breakthrough miracle. Cures that often promise the moon, but sometimes deliver very little, perhaps leaving you feeling disappointed or even more skeptical than before. Maybe you've tried things in the past that didn't quite live up to the hype, and it's only natural to feel a little wary. And please know that skepticism is completely valid and healthy. Let me be absolutely clear. We are not talking about magic, pills here. There are no overnight transformations promised, no miracle cures contained in a nutshell. What we are talking about today is the quiet, steady power of good nutrition, the foundational building blocks our bodies need to thrive. We're discussing simple, natural, whole foods that contain a beautiful concentration of beneficial nutrients, healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants that our bodies are designed to use. Think of it as providing your body with high quality, fuel and the right tools for maintenance and repair, consistently, day after day. It's about gentle support, about potentially nudging your system back towards better balance and function through the simple goodness found in nature. And here's the truly wonderful part, the part that makes this approach so appealing. These nuts are incredibly accessible. You don't need to hunt them down in specialty stores. They're readily available in virtually any grocery store, right there in the baking aisle or snack section. Compared to many health trends, they are relatively affordable too. And perhaps best of all, there's no complicated preparation required. You don't need to be a gourmet chef or follow intricate recipes. It's as simple as opening a bag or container and enjoying them as they are, or perhaps adding them easily to foods you already eat. It's about adding something simple and beneficial to your life, not about starting some overwhelming new regimen. It's just good, wholesome food offering its natural gifts. So, please, if you haven't already, do make sure that cup of tea or coffee is topped up. Maybe pull that cozy blanket a little tighter around your shoulders, settle back into your favorite chair, and let's embark on this friendly, hopeful exploration together. Let's investigate these little nutritional treasures and see what potential they hold. All right, let's meet our first nutty companion on this journey towards feeling our best. It's a familiar friend to many of us, found in kitchens and recipes the world over, the wonderful, wrinkly walnut. Have you ever noticed how a walnut, half when you crack it open, looks remarkably like a tiny replica of the human brain? It's quite fascinating, isn't it? While that might just be a delightful coincidence of nature, it almost feels like a little hint, a whisper about the good things this nut might hold for our overall well-being, including keeping our minds sharp. But today, we're going to focus primarily on one of the most celebrated benefits of walnuts, something absolutely fundamental to feeling energetic and vital every single day: their incredible support for your heart health and, crucially, your circulation. Think about it. Your heart is the tireless engine, and your circulatory system is the intricate network of roads and highways delivering everything your body needs. Keeping that engine running smoothly and those highways clear is paramount to everything else. So, what makes walnuts such champions for our cardiovascular system? Well, they are absolutely packed with beneficial nutrients, but one of the star players is a type of healthy fat called omega-3 fatty acids. Specifically, walnuts are one of the best plant-based sources of an omega-3 called ALA, alpha-linolenic acid. Now, healthy fats might sound like a contradiction sometimes, but these omega-3s are truly like little superheroes working diligently inside our bodies. Their job description includes helping to keep the lining of our blood vessels smooth and flexible, reducing inflammation, which can be like internal rust building up over time, and generally supporting the healthy flow of blood throughout our entire system. Imagine your circulatory system, all those veins and arteries, as the vital plumbing network in your house. You need those pipes to be clear, open, and flexible, not stiff or clogged up, right? If the pipes get narrow or blocked, the water flow slows down, pressure builds up, and things just don't work efficiently. It's much the same inside our bodies. These amazing omega-3 fats found abundantly in walnuts act like a natural maintenance crew for your internal plumbing. They help keep those vessel walls supple, almost like making old pipes less brittle. And they discourage the buildup of sticky stuff. Think of it as preventing tiny clogs or traffic jams, allowing your blood to flow freely and easily, just like water through clean, open pipes. And why is this smooth, efficient blood flow so incredibly vital for feeling energetic and full of life? Well, think about what your blood carries. It's the delivery truck for absolutely essential goods: oxygen from your lungs and nutrients from the food you eat. Every single cell in your body, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, relies on this constant delivery service. Your muscles need that oxygen and fuel to move. Whether you're walking around the house, reaching for something on a high shelf, or enjoying a gentle stroll outside, your brain, which is incredibly hungry for oxygen, needs that steady flow to think clearly, focus, remember things, and maintain a positive mood. When your circulation is working optimally, thanks in part to support from nutrients like those in walnuts, these vital deliveries happen efficiently. Your muscles get the fuel they need without struggling, helping you feel stronger and less fatigued. Your brain gets its steady supply of oxygen, helping you feel more alert, mentally sharp, and less foggy. Conversely, if circulation is sluggish, if those deliveries are slow or inefficient, it's like trying to run your body on a low battery. You might feel that unexplained tiredness creep in. Your limbs might feel heavy, perhaps your hands and feet feel cold more often, and even your thinking might feel a bit slower. So, supporting your heart and circulation isn't just about preventing major problems down the road. It's about enhancing your quality of life right now, helping you feel more vibrant and capable each day. And the good news is, science backs this up. Numerous studies conducted by reputable researchers and health organizations consistently point to the benefits of including walnuts as part of a heart-healthy diet. Health experts often recommend them specifically for their positive impact on cholesterol levels, helping to balance the good and bad types, and overall cardiovascular function. It's not just folklore, there's real substance behind the reputation of walnuts as a heart-smart food. So, how can you easily invite these wonderful nuts into your daily routine without any fuss? It's simpler than you might think. Try tossing A small handful, maybe about a quarter cup, which is roughly 10-14 walnut halves, onto your warm morning oatmeal or mixing them into your favorite yogurt. They add a lovely, satisfying crunch and rich flavor. You could chop some walnuts coarsely and sprinkle them over a fresh green salad at lunch or dinner. They pair beautifully with fruits like apples or pears in a salad too. How about adding some chopped walnuts into your muffin or banana bread batter next time you bake? Or simply enjoy a few raw walnut halves as a satisfying mid-afternoon snack when you feel your energy starting to dip. They can help tide you over much better than sugary or processed options. Just incorporating a small amount regularly, perhaps, most days of the week, is enough to start contributing those beneficial omega-3s and other nutrients. Now, a couple of important, gentle reminders, as always. Firstly, if you have a known allergy to tree nuts, then walnuts are unfortunately off the table for you, and it's crucial to avoid them. Safety first. Secondly, while walnuts are incredibly nutritious, they are also quite rich in calories due to those healthy fats. So, moderation is indeed key, especially if you're mindful of your weight. That small handful we mentioned is generally a good guideline for a daily serving. Enjoy them as part of a balanced diet, perhaps substituting them for less healthy snacks rather than just adding them on top of everything else. But for most people, incorporating a sensible amount of walnuts is a wonderfully simple, delicious, and heart-smart choice. It's a small step that supports that vital blood flow, truly a cornerstone of feeling good, energetic, and fully engaged with life. Next up is another popular favorite, the versatile almond. Almonds are little powerhouses when it comes to providing nutrients involved in energy production within your body. They are a good source of magnesium and B vitamins, which play crucial roles in converting the food you eat into usable energy at a cellular level. Imagine your body has tiny energy factories in every cell. Magnesium and B vitamins are like essential workers in those factories, making sure the production line runs smoothly. If you're low on these workers, your energy production might feel sluggish, like an engine that's not getting quite enough fuel or spark. Almonds help supply some of these key components. People have snacked on almonds for energy for centuries. They are portable, satisfying, and nutrient-dense. Enjoying them is easy. Keep a small baggie of almonds handy for a quick afternoon pick-me-up instead of reaching for sugary snacks. Sprinkle slivered almonds over steamed vegetables or add them to your favorite trail mix. Even almond butter on whole wheat toast is a great option. A small handful provides that satisfying crunch and those energy-supporting nutrients. Remember, variety is good, but almonds offer a solid dose of these elements vital for keeping your internal energy factories humming along. Our third nut might be a little less common in your pantry, but it packs a unique punch: the Brazil nut. What's special about this one? Brazil nuts are incredibly rich in a mineral called selenium. You might wonder, how does selenium connect to vitality? Well, selenium is crucial for two important things: supporting a healthy mood and ensuring your thyroid gland works properly. Your thyroid, a small gland in your neck, acts like your body's overall metabolism regulator, influencing energy levels, temperature, and more. Selenium is essential for it to function optimally. Furthermore, selenium acts as an antioxidant and plays a role in brain health, potentially helping to lift some of that mental fog that can drag down our overall sense of well-being. Think of feeling good mentally as clearing the clouds. When your mood is brighter and your mind feels clearer, your physical energy often follows suit. The key with Brazil nuts is that you need very little due to their high selenium content. Just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts per day is typically enough to get a significant dose. You can simply eat them plain, because selenium can be harmful in large amounts. It's important not to overdo it with Brazil nuts. More is definitely not better here. Stick to just 1 or 2 daily, or even a few times a week. It's a minimal effort way to get this unique mineral that supports crucial background functions tied to your overall energy and mood. Always best to check with your doctor if you have thyroid conditions before making dietary changes. All right, time for our little bonus tip. This isn't a fourth nut, but rather a simple way to potentially enhance your enjoyment and maybe even the digestibility of the nuts we've discussed. Try lightly toasting them. You can spread walnuts or almonds. Brazil nuts are usually best raw on a baking sheet and toast them in the oven at a low temperature around 300 dig or 150 ders, for just 5 to 10 minutes, watching carefully so they don't burn. The gentle heat brings out their natural oils and deepens their flavor, making them even more delicious. That warm, nutty aroma filling your kitchen, it feels so comforting. Some people also find that lightly toasted nuts are a bit easier on their digestion. My neighbor Frank absolutely loves his almonds toasted this way. He says the satisfying crunch and richer flavor make them his favorite go-to snack. It's a simple step that transforms them into a delightful little treat. You can also try soaking raw almonds or walnuts in water overnight and then rinsing them before eating. Some find this aids digestion too. Give toasting a gentle try and see if it adds a little extra pleasure to your healthy nut habit. Now, I'd love to share a little story about a gentleman named Arthur, a retired school teacher around 78 living in Ohio. Arthur's great passion was woodworking. He had a small workshop in his garage, filled with tools and the comforting smell of sawdust, where he loved crafting beautiful little birdhouses and intricate wooden toys for his grandchildren. It kept his mind sharp and his hands busy. But over the past year or so, Arthur had noticed his energy just wasn't what it used to be. He'd head out to his workshop after breakfast, full of plans, but by mid-morning he'd feel inexplicably tired, needing to sit down more often. His focus would drift, and the physical work of sanding or sawing felt more laborious. He found himself making excuses to avoid starting new projects, which left him feeling frustrated and a bit low, missing that creative spark. His wife noticed he seemed less enthusiastic overall. She read an article about the importance of healthy fats and certain minerals for maintaining energy levels as we age, and suggested they try incorporating more nuts like walnuts, almonds, and maybe even those Brazil nuts into their diet. Arthur was a bit doubtful. Could food really make that much difference? But he loved his wife and trusted her judgment. They started small, adding chopped walnuts to their morning cereal, packing almonds for an afternoon snack instead of cookies. And Arthur would have just one Brazil nut with his breakfast. There was no dramatic overnight change, but slowly, steadily, over several weeks, Arthur began to notice subtle shifts. He found he could work in his shop for a longer stretch before needing a break. He felt a little mentally sharper, more able to focus on the detailed measurements of his projects. That heavy feeling of fatigue seemed to lift, replaced by a more consistent, gentle energy throughout the day. One afternoon, his wife found him happily absorbed in carving a detailed wooden bird, whistling softly, something she hadn't heard him do in months. He looked up, beaming, and said, "You know, dear, I think those nuts might actually be helping. I feel more like my old self again." It wasn't about becoming a superhero. It was about reclaiming enough energy and vitality to fully enjoy his passion and his days again. Seeing a photo of Arthur proudly holding up a beautifully finished bluebird house, his eyes twinkling. It's a wonderful reminder that simple, natural choices can genuinely support our well-being and help us keep doing the things we love. So, there we have it. A little exploration of 3 wonderful nuts, heart-helping walnuts to support vital circulation, energy factory-fueling almonds, and mood and thyroid-supporting Brazil nuts, in careful moderation. Simple, natural foods that can be part of a lifestyle supporting your overall vitality and well-being as you navigate these precious years. Why not pick just one of these nuts that sounded interesting to you today? Perhaps start by adding a few walnuts to your salad or trying that single Brazil nut with breakfast. See how you feel incorporating this small change over the next few weeks. Remember, it's about gentle support, not overnight miracles. I would genuinely love it if you shared in the comments below which nut caught your attention, or perhaps you have your own favorite healthy snack that keeps you feeling energized. Let's share our wisdom. And just one more time, that friendly reminder to chat with your doctor about any dietary changes, especially if you have allergies or health conditions. If you found our chat helpful or enjoyable today, giving this video a little thumbs up really does help others who might be looking for similar information find it too. And please do subscribe if you haven't already, so we can continue sharing these simple tips and encouraging stories together. Feel free to share this video with a friend or loved one who you think might appreciate a little natural boost. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always a joy. Stay well, take wonderful care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video soon. Bye for now.